Hey everyone, Christina here with One Creative Direction. Welcome in, welcome to my channel. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Hopefully you're enjoying the videos. I'm a pretty simple, basic person. No flash, no fanfare, just simple stuff. So hopefully that's right up your alley. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to do some mixing. I have lots of mixing videos out there specific to different techniques. And I realized that I don't believe I have any mixing videos on cup pours. So tonight we're going to do a mixing video on how I mix my paints for my cup pours. Now, out of all of my recipes, this is probably the absolute easiest. Every cup pour that I do, almost 100%, I usually include one color of my cloud mixture. And I don't believe I have that video out there. So this is going to be a little bit of a bonus. We're just going to do just the regular colors for a cup pour, and then we're going to do a cloud mix for a cup pour. So with that being said, let's get started. Super simple recipe. And because I'm mixing 4, I'm going to go ahead and get my Floetrol out for all 4 of these all at the same time, so I don't have to keep doing that. So what I usually do is I always strain my Floetrol. If you don't, you should. You should have seen the huge goober that came out of my Floetrol container the other night when I was mixing. I don't think I've ever seen one that large. It was probably 10 inches long. I've been doing this for a while, and I don't think I've ever seen one that big. So you always want to shake your Floetrol, right? Always. And I used to put cheesecloth over the top of here. I used to do all kinds of things, but it always gets so gunked up, and you have to change it constantly. And this is probably the absolute easiest. So my recipe calls for 2.5 parts Floetrol to 1 part paint. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit so you don't have to sit and watch me measure out 50 milliliters 4 times. So enjoy the music until we get to the last one. Okay guys, I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to sit and watch me measure 50 milliliters out 4 times. So I'll insert a little music until we get to the last one. And the last one. You can see all these big chunks come flying out of here. Now that one, I got a little bit too much in there. So what we're going to do is, if it was just a couple of milliliters, I probably would have just left it, but it's almost 10. I don't want to mess it up. So we're going to reweigh that. I'm good with that. Okay. Now I'm going to set this strainer aside. And then we're going to mix. Got my paints right here. So we're going to mix one of the thinner ones, which is the metallic, the Modern Masters Antique Bronze. So we're going to mix that one first. All right, so I did 50, so that's 1/3 of that. So 1/3 of this will be 20 milliliters of paint. Sorry, I'm cutting down my recipe. Make sure I'm doing the math in my head to make sure I'm right. Yep, that's correct. Okay. Alrighty, let's put 20 in here. And hopefully with my new camera setup, you can see that from above. I didn't ever have any aerial views. I always had to go with like a side view. So I got a couple of new holders for my camera, or my phone, I should say. It's not like I have a camera. I wish I did. Then I wouldn't have storage issues on my phone. But now I have two of them. I have one for my pouring table and one for here. All right, so there's 20 in there, and I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to go ahead and do one of the tube paints. All right. This is unbleached titanium. This is how my container came from Jerry's Artorama. There was a paint explosion inside the box. They ended up having to resend one of my whites because it kind of had a little accident. All right, so there's those two. So I'm going to set this aside for a second, and I'm going to mix these up, and that's pretty much all I put in there. And then basically all you're going to do after you mix these together, and you want to make sure you mix them really thoroughly. Okay, we're going to speed this portion up again just because it does take some time to mix up the paint, and I don't want to draw it out too long. I try to keep my videos short, you all know that. So we're just going to speed this portion up, so enjoy the music. I think we're good there. It's flowing really nice, much thinner than it was before. All right, we're going to go with that. So let's mix this one up. Trying to keep it in camera view so you guys can see. You'll notice that not only am I mixing in a circular motion, but I also do, I don't know, which kind of like a chopping motion, right? That helps the up and down. So you sometimes just going in this direction or this direction doesn't really help. Sometimes you have to do the chopping, right? Especially for your tube paints, not maybe so much for these metallics. All right, now that is pretty much the same consistency we had on the other one. All right, so you can see, and I'm just gonna mix it a little bit more just because I like for mine to be very well mixed. Make sure I get it all off my stir stick. I'm going to add just a dribble of water, just because I know by the time I get the other two colors mixed, some of this might have evaporated, and I'm okay with that. Okay, I think we're going to be good with that. We're going to let that sit. Perfect. All right. So we've got those two done. And I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to go ahead and mix these two off camera and get my stuff ready for the cloud mixture, and I will be back. Okay guys, we're back. We are going to mix up some cloud cup pour. So typically I use my white DecoArt satin enamel, but I do have a few other colors. This is one of them. This is Seaside Blue. I really like this color. You can see that it's a really nice, soft, kind of a tealish light blue. Don't know how else to describe it. I already have some mixed in here, but I need more. I have a project I want to use this on, so I'm going to need more than what I have in here. It's getting kind of low. I'm also going to mix up some black DecoArt satin enamel, but we'll do that off camera. So what I'm going to do is, so for my mixture, it's 2 parts Floetrol, 2 parts DecoArt satin enamel, 1 part, it's supposed to be, I know a lot of people use the Vallejo Pearl Medium, but I know that for the longest time, it has not been available. Now, I've never used it. I went ahead and I've been using something else. And we'll show you that here in a few. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, I think I'm going to use 40 milliliters of Floetrol. So we're going to add that. Typically I mix a little bit more, but like I said, there's still some in the bottom of it. So we're going to cut the recipe down a little bit. Put 40 in here. All right, should be close. Here we go. All right. Put your cap on so you don't get big goobers in there. Now this is what I substitute for my Vallejo. It's Creative Inspirations. I get it from Jerry's Artorama. Unfortunately, you have to buy multiples of these. I bought some of the pouring medium at the same time, the gloss medium, and some paint. I have a few colors of paint in this large size, but they do make you purchase a large quantity. I think it's like a minimum of maybe 4 that you have to purchase. Don't quote me on that though. All right, we're gonna put 1 part of this, so that's gonna be 20. Let's take our strainer off because we don't need that. Okay, I don't know where that came from. All right, we're gonna zero that out, and I'm gonna put 20 in here. This stuff is super, super thick. And I know a lot of people, like I said, use the Vallejo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Wow, that was almost 20 there. So we need just a hair more. That works. But I really like how this turns out when I use this. So I'm not mad about how it turns out. Stir that up just a hair. All right, and then we're going to zero that out, and we're going to add 40 milliliters of the DecoArt. I'm just about out of this one. I have to go get me some more of this. I did some really cool furniture knobs using this as one of the colors, and boy, did they turn out spectacular. As soon as I get back from Florida, I'm going to redo all of the knobs in my kitchen the same way. I poured on wood knobs, but all the ones in my kitchen are metal. So when I get back from Florida in November, I'm going to do that, and those were super fun. All right, I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to add in just a squirt of GAC 800. Shake this. I don't know if you actually need to shake GAC 800, but we're going to shake it anyway. So just a squirt of GAC. All right. Mix this up really good. All right, now I'm anticipating this is going to be really thick, which it is. You can see how thick it is. It needs water. So we're going to add some water. Remember, you don't add a ton of water. You add a little bit at a time when you're mixing in water to your mixtures, your recipes. If you add too much water at the same time, it's going to break down those binders in your paint. So you always want to incorporate your water a little bit at a time to prevent that. I like for my cloud mixture to be just a little bit on the a little bit thinner, because it seems to thicken up pretty fast, whereas my other colors, my other just standard colors, they typically don't. And I'm not going to use a lot of this, and it may be sitting here for the most part until I get back. I may get fortunate and have time to actually remove all my knobs in my kitchen and pour them all before I leave, and then they can cure up while I'm gone. I'll be in Florida for 6 weeks. And I will tell you, the plan is to find a place to live while I'm down there, but it's also like a working vacation. Let me see if I can share that. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, I think we're good there. I might add a little bit more water. I want to make sure I get this mixed really well. I think I want to add more water. It's still leaving quite a large mound. But anyway, I am going to be in Florida for 6 weeks, and I work remotely. So I work from home. I have a regular full-time job. I work in the medical field. That's my full-time job. And since I work remotely, I decided when I was in Florida back in May that I was just going to go back down and spend a significant amount of time while I'm there. My plan is to find a place to live, or at least kind of scope some places out. I don't even know like what city I want to live in. Yep, I think we're good there. That's nice and thin. Not thin, thinner than it was. All right, I am going to put the lid on this because I'm not going to need this in the pour that I'm doing tonight. So, all right, so that's pretty much everything. Hopefully that helped. If you're interested in doing like some cup pours and or cup cloud pours, sometimes when I do a cloud pour, I'll use 2 of the cloud pour mixtures instead of just white. I'll incorporate the black or that one that I just did. So yeah, I really like that mixture. I don't know if anybody has any of that Pearl Medium, but from my understanding, you can use the Vallejo Pearl Medium as well. That's what I had on hand, and I've been using it ever since. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next video. I'm going to try to make some videos up ahead of time for when I'm in Florida so I can release them. So it's not like 2 months without a video from me, which I really don't like to go that long. But yeah, thanks for joining me, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.